Yanagi Gamer here, and it is time! I already played Nangong in Deadly Assault. I also played Nangong in the latest Shiyu defense, so now it is time to actually showcase her properly and make a proper showcase video. So Nangong is basically just going to be showcased in just like any other support, where I'm going to be showcasing her in basically Anomaly teams. Every single Anomaly agent I'm going to be showcasing with her, because Nangong is basically just a Anomaly support sub-DPS hybrid. So yeah. Well, anyways, you already know the drill of these showcase videos. I'm just going to be showcasing her in teams, and then Halo Zero, and as well as VR, and then as well as give my overview and final thoughts. So yeah, you already know the drill. Well, anyways, without any further delay, let's get this showcase video started. So this is the Nangong showcase video, and I'm be starting off with my Nangong build. Alright, so this is my Nangong build. So as you see here, Nangong is really easy to build. You just build her like your typical Anomaly character. So you just build her with high attack, AM, and AP. So I'm going to be explaining the stats individually, of course, starting with the attack and AP. The reason why you want to level up your attack and AP as high as possible is because Nangong, as well as being a stun agent, she also does big damage. She is a sub DPS as well. Once the enemy is stunned, you're able to get 2 stacks of your passive, and then once you do that, you're able to just land a quick assist or a heavy attack or an EX, and then you just do big damage. You're able to trigger Ablooms and Disorders. With attack and AP, those Blooms and Disorders do big, massive damage. So that is the reason why Nangong, as well as being a stun agent, she also is a sub DPS. She does big damage. She actually is crazy with that. So that's the reason why you want to build your Nangong with attack and AP. But her most important stat that you have to level up is AM. Give her as much AM as you can, because everything in her kit revolves around AM. You have to trigger attribute anomalies, which is the reason why you want as much AM as you can, because Nangong is going to be basically your secondary DPS and support. And also, her main core passive wants AM because it gives her impact. If you have a lot of AM, she gains a lot of impact. With a lot of impact, you're able to stun the enemy faster. That is the reason why you want as much AM as you can. The more AM Nangong has, the more she's able to stun the enemy faster, which gives her core passive basically faster. You're able to get your core passive faster, you're able to get your stacks faster, and you're able to just do big damage on stun enemies. She is really good if the enemy is stunned, which is the reason why you want as much AM as you can. The more AM you have, the more impact Nangong has. So that's the reason why you want as much AM as you can. It is her most important stat. Well, anyways, that is it for the stat explanations and the reason why I built her like this. So, well, let's talk about the in-depth stat. As you see here, we have 1,459 attack, and we also have a gain of 1,004, which is pretty good. We also have AM right here. Basically, she is at 200 AM, which is the highest I'm pretty sure that Nangong is able to gain. We also have AP right here, 296. You don't really need to reach 300 AP. It's kind of overkill, but the more AP you have, the better. I would say that as long as you pass around 250 AP, you should be fine. But 296 is pretty overkill, but the more AP and more attack you have, the better your Nangong is able to perform, because she's able to do massive damage. And of course, since Nangong is a ether attribute, I gave her ether damage bonus. Since she's going to be triggering Ablooms and Disorders all the time, might as well just give her ether damage to boost her attribute anomaly damage. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to talk about the skills. So the first thing I leveled up, of course, is her core passive. Her core passive is extremely important. It is one of the most important things that you have to level up with Nangong. So the reason why you want to level up the core passive is because you get a unconditional free 120 AP. Yeah, 120 AP for free as long as you're able to just level this up. It's really good. And also, all of her stuff is able to just scale really good if you just level up her core passive. So as you see here, well, let's talk about some of the stuff that she gains. So when Nangong uses basic attack, or when she uses an EX to hit the enemy, her anomaly buildup rate increases by 35%. and her days dealt increases by 20%, and all squad members' damage dealt increases by 25%. So, as long as you're able to land a basic attack, which is a adorable explosive impact, which is just her charge attack, or you're able to just land 1 EX, which is pretty easy to do, you're able to increase your anomaly buildup rate, your days dealt, and the damage your squad deals. 25% damage increase is really, really good, and all she needs to do is just land 1 EX or 1 charge attack. And it lasts a pretty long time too. 30 seconds. 30 seconds of 35% anomaly buildup rate, 20% days, and 25% damage increase. It is really, really, really broken. So yeah, as long as you're able to just land those hits, you should be a-okay. And of course, it is her main bread and butter. You are going to be landing your 3 charge attacks and as well as your EXs to go into those charge attacks. So that is the reason why you just have to level up core. You get the 120 AP and as well as the 35% anomaly buildup rate, 20% days, and 25% damage increase. It is really, really broken. Also, it is really, really, really important that you have to pair up anomaly agents with Nangong, because her additional ability is what all of her passive is all about. Her additional ability is extremely, extremely important, because if you do, you basically have a 30% anomaly buildup increase, and you're able to just do chain attacks, and they do a 30% additional anomaly buildup, which is really, really good. It's really, really good on characters like, of course, just anomaly characters in general, like Burnice, Miyabi, Aria. All of those anomaly buildups are really important because you have to get attribute anomalies. When an enemy is inflicted with an attribute anomaly, she's able to basically just do big massive damage, and here is what the big massive damage is. So basically, when an enemy gets stunned, you're able to get dance prowess, 2 stacks of dance prowess. In order to consume your dance prowesses, you have to land a heavy attack from Nangong's EX, or her basic attack, or her quick assist. This is very, very important. So you just have to land a charge attack, an EX, or a quick assist. If you do land those, you're able to consume 1 dance prowess in order to basically trigger a special disorder, a polarity disorder. And it does big, massive damage. And it deals 25% of the original disorder. And basically, you're just able to trigger a quick assist, which is pretty free. So yeah, this is very, very important. So when you stun an enemy, you just get dance prowesses. You get 2 dance prowesses. You have to land a charge attack, an EX, or a quick assist in order to consume 1 of those dance prowesses, which is pretty easy to do. And you're able to just do massive disorder damage. So basically, once you stun the enemy, you just have to switch into Nangong, or you just stay on Nangong and then just do like 2 charge attacks, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, as long as you're able to just consume your dance prowesses, you just switch to your main DPS and then you just do damage. That's the reason why Nangong is mainly just a support sub DPS hybrid, because all she has to do is just consume the 2 dance prowesses and then you're just back to action with your main DPS. So yeah, but it changes once you have Aria. So if you have Nangong and Aria on the same team, as long as Aria is able to do a basic attack, which is just her plunge attack, you're able to consume a dance prowess automatically. So you don't have to switch into Nangong. Nangong can just literally just stand in the background. So she's literally now just a support at this point. So yeah, it changes per playstyle, but for Aria teams, you don't really have to worry about landing 2 hits, 2 heavy hits. So you don't have to land a quick assist, you don't have to land an EX, you don't have to land a charge basic. All you have to do is literally just do 1 plunge with Aria and you're able to just consume the stack, which is pretty nice. Just do 2 charge attacks and you are good and golden, and you just do polarity disorders, which do massive damage, by the way. So yeah. Also, if right here, you're able to get a stun damage multiplier of 30%. It's really, really busted. So when you land a 3rd hit of her basic attack, or when you use a ultimate, the enemy suffers from a special debuff called Misstep. So under Misstep, their stun damage multiplier increases by 30%. And when they are stunned, they're able to increase the stun duration by 3 seconds. It is really, really busted. As long as you're able to land the 3rd hit of Nangong's basic attack, it is really, really busted. So it is really, really good. And also, it's before recovering from stun. Misstep can only trigger once on the same target. So it only triggers once, but you're able to just reapply it again as long as the enemy is recovers from stun. You're able to just go into Misstep again. So it's pretty easy. As long as you land a third hit or an ultimate, they are under Misstep, which is pretty easy to perform. And besides, you're going to be fighting one enemy most of the time anyways in hard content. So yeah, this is basically pretty free. So not only you get a 30% stun damage multiplier, but you're able to just do big massive damage on polarity disorders. So yeah, that's the reason why you just level up core. Nangong's passive is really important. You get 120 AP, you get 35% anomaly buildup rate, 20% days increase with a 25% damage dealt. Also, when you have an anomaly character on your team, or you're just sharing the same faction of another character, you're able to get a 30% anomaly buildup increase. And chain attacks also gain another 30% anomaly buildup increase. And you're able to do a polarity disorder as long as you're able to land your charge attacks, your EXs, or your quick assist for Nangong. Or you just have Aria on the team and just do plunges, which do 25% damage of the original disorder. It is really busted. So that's the reason why you just have to level up core. Core is her main important thing. And as for basic attacks is what she mainly does most of the time. So the reason why you level up basic is to just do as much days as you can. It is very important that you're just able to do this because you're able to just hold. All of her attacks just do holds anyway. There is a timing to your hold attacks, so keep in mind that you just have to time your charges. But if you do, you're able to launch it faster, which is her main bread and butter. You're going to be doing a lot of your 3-hit charge attacks to just stun the enemy. So yeah, keep in mind it's very important. As well as EX you can level this up because you are going to be using EX to go into your second and third hit more. And besides, Nangong has pretty good energy regen if you are running her on just proper anomaly teams. So yeah, she's not going to be running out of EXs anytime soon, so you can't just throw out an EX every now and then if you really want to. And of course, her ultimate does massive days, and also it triggers Ether Veil, which gives you a 50 attack increase, which is pretty nice. So if you do want an Ether Veil character, you can just use Nangong as long as you're able to do ultimate. As for equipment right here, it's basically her best equipment. So I did make a video before saying why Phaethon's Melody is better than Shining Aria's. If you haven't seen that video, go check out the Aria Showcase video where I talk about why Phaethon's Melody is better than Shining Aria. So if you don't know why I am using Phaethon's Melody over Shining Aria, make sure you check out the video on the top right corner right about now. Right there, it just takes you to the Aria Showcase video. So yeah, make sure you watch it if you want to find out why Phaethon's Melody is better than Shining Aria's. Well, anyways, now let's talk about Nangong's build. So the 4-piece set is Phaethon's Melody. Phaethon's Melody is one of the best anomaly sets in the game. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows this. You get a plus 8% anomaly mastery, perfect for Nangong, who basically scales off of anomaly mastery, as you see here with the skills. It gives her impact. As long as you're able to get 1 point of anomaly mastery above 110, you're able to increase your impact by 1. More impact, the better. You just get to stun the enemy much more faster. So that's the reason why Phaethon's Melody 2-piece is really good. As for 4-piece set is really good. You get a 45 AP increase as long as you're using an EX. Any squad member just has to use an EX, and you just get a free 45 AP. Also, if the character using the EX special attack is not the equipper's ether damage increases by 25%. This is really easy to do, especially since Nangong is able to be paired up with a lot of agents who just do EXs for free. Like, for instance, Yuzuha, who is able to just get massive energy regen and just spam EXs all day, every day. Miyabi, who's able to just do EXs every now and then just to get a bunch of her frost stacks. Also, Aria is able to spam her EXs all the time, so she's able to get her passive to just do massive plunge damage. And also Sunna, of course, she has a lot of energy regen if you build her with a energy regen set, which gives her a bunch of EXs as well. So it's pretty easy to just trigger Phaethon's Melody. As long as you're able to rotate your agents properly, you're able to get the 45 AP and as well as 25% ether damage, which is pretty nice because, again, Nangong is a ether attribute agent. those Ablooms and Disorders are going to be doing massive damage. So yeah, it's very important that you just level up Nangong with the Faith and Melody set, because it's a really good set. As for the 2-piece set, just go for AP. Any AP 2-piece works. I just went with Chaos Jazz because that's what I had. Yeah, plus 30 AP, nothing to scoff at. It's really good. So yeah, as for the W engine of choice, of course, it's going to be Neon Fantasies. Neon Fantasies is Nangong's best set, or best W engine, my bad, which gives her 30% AM. AM is really important. Again, the more AM you have, the more impact you're able to get. So make sure you try to get this W engine because it is her best W engine. If not, then you can sub out for Kaleda's W engine, which gives you a similar passive where you just get energy regen off field and you're just able to increase your impact as long as you land an EX, which is mostly what Nangong basically does. So yeah, but Neon Fantasies, if you do have the spare polychromes, make sure you get it. It is a really good W engine, and I will talk about it right now. So you just get a 90 AP increase, unconditional. You just get a free 90 AP increase. When you do a EX or basic attack that deals ether damage, you get a 15% damage bonus by 40 seconds. So 50% damage is really good. I mean, more damage the better. It buffs all of your agents. You're able to stack it up to 2 times, and it's really easy because all you need to do again is just land a EX or a basic attack that deals ether damage. Nangong is able to just trigger this on command, so you just get a free 30% attack for 40 seconds. It's really busted. So yeah. Once you get the 2 stacks, you're able to increase your AP by an additional 60 AP, which is really good. So basically, you get just a bunch of AP. It's really busted. You get a net total, I'm pretty sure, of 150 AP. So yeah, you get 150 AP on your Nangong, which means that all of your polarity disorders and your Ablooms just do massive damage. And also on top of that, you get a 30% increased damage. So yeah, it's really good. If you have the spare polychromes, make sure you get this W engine. This W engine is really good. AM as the main stat, and you just get a free 30% AP or not 30. You get a 30% damage increase and as well as a 150 AP increase. So yeah, it's really good. You just have to get this W engine. It is really good. So yeah. Anyways, that is it for the Nangong build. As you see there, pretty easy to build. As you see, I mean, you just slap on a 4-piece Phaethons and then just get a 2-piece AP, and she is able to be good to go because she is mainly just a support sub DPS hybrid. So you just have to build her like a, well, Vivian. You just have to build her like Vivian. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it is time to showcase Nangong in some teams. And as I said in the intro, I'm just going to be showcasing her with every single Anomaly agent in the game. So, well, we're going to be going into reverse order. We're going to be going into the latest released agent all the way down to basically the version 1 agents. So, yeah. Well, anyways, let's start off first with well, the first agent or the latest agent that released. So let's go to the showcase team segment. Alrighty, so the first agent, or rather I guess the first team I'm gonna be showcasing is Angels of Delusion, aka Aria Hypercarry. So all of these 3 just function really well together. All of them basically just, well, they're Angels of Delusion. They just work really well together. All 3 of them need each other. So what do I mean by all 3 of them need each other? Well, I'm going to be going down the list of, well, why they just need each other. So Aria needs a Ether Veil support. Sunna is that Ether Veil support. The reason why you need Ether Veil support for Aria is because Aria gains fandom power if there is a Ether Veil activated. The more fandom power that Aria has, the more damage she's able to deal, which is really good. It means that she's able to just do plunges over and over again. That is the reason why they just need each other. For Aria, in order for her to deal more damage, you need the enemy stunned. Well, guess who's the stun agent on the team? We have Nangong. So, with Nangong stunning the enemy, Aria is able to do massive damage. This is the reason why Aria needs Nangong. And, well, now we can go on to Nangong now. So, Nangong needs the enemy to be afflicted by attribute anomalies. Aria is your anomaly agent. So, as long as you're able to trigger corruption, she's able to gain her passive, because as long as there is a attribute anomaly on the enemy, she's able to consume her passive to do dance prowesses on the enemy to do massive disorder damage, which is really, really good. It just means that you're able to just do big, massive sub DPS damage. And as for Sunna is basically just an all-around bona fide support. She gives attack bonuses. She gives massive attack buffs for both Aria and Nangong, which they desperately need. So yeah, that's the reason why Sunna is useful for both of them. It's because they just both need attack, which means that she's able to just do more disorder damage. So yeah, it's really, really, really important that you just put Sunna on the team. So yeah, so all of these three just basically need each other. For Aria, basically she just needs Aether Veil and a stun agent to just do massive damage. For Nangong, she just needs attribute anomalies on the enemy, so she's able to do her massive polarity disorders. And for Sunna, she's just able to just give the attack buffs to both of them, which benefit them really, really well. So yeah. Well, anyways, that's my explanation on why all these three just work together. And well, specifically for Nangong, she's able to just support Aria massively and just do big, massive damage with Aria. And also, since you have Aria as a synergy, we can talk about the additional ability that Nangong has. So basically, when Aria is on the team, you're able to just do a big, massive dance prowess attack and just do polarity disorders on the enemy without having to switch in, which is really, really good. It just means that you just focus on Aria and just do massive damage with her instead of just switching to Nangong and just able to just consume all those dance prowesses. So basically, you don't really need to work very, very hard to just consume your dance prowesses, because all Aria has to do is just do a perfect pitch basic attack and just do massive damage on the enemy, and Nangong attacks automatically. So yeah, it's pretty good. So anyways, now it's time to showcase the Angels of Delusion. So we have Aria, who is the main DPS. We have Nangong, who's going to be the support and sub DPS. We have Sunna, who's going to be the support as well as Aether Veil activator. And as for Bang Boo of choice, we are running Angels of Delusion, so we're running Biggest Fan, which is a really, really good Bang Boo because it gives you massive attack as long as you're able to just have it on the field. So it's pretty easy. As long as it activates its active skill, it's able to just give 50 attack for free on every single member, which is really, really nice. It is really, really good, and I'm pretty sure at level, well, S5, Biggest Fan, you're able to get a massive 100 attack, I'm pretty sure. If not, then correct me in the comments. Well, anyways, it's time to showcase some Angels of Delusion action. So, Angels of Delusion is a pretty easy team to run. You just activate Sunna Aether Veils, and you're able to just swap in EXs every now and then to trigger, of course, your Faith and Melody. Faith and Melody is really, really good on both of Nangong and Aria. You run Faith and Melody on both of them because it's their best set. Well, anyways, we're gonna be going into Nangong in a moment to just do her EX and then just do her 2 charge basics. There we go, nice. And we go into Sunna and then switch into Aria. And there we go. So yeah, this team is basically pretty easy. You just have to swap in every now and then. Just keep swapping in, and you should be fine for the most part. As long as you're able to swap and just land your EXs, you should be good to go. So yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna be going into Aria, into Nangong, and we're going into Sunna, so we're able to activate her EXs, which gives both of them their massive stacks for Phaethons. So now we just go into ult, and then we're gonna be seeing massive damage on polarity disorders. So let's see how much it does. Yeah, 900k disorder. 900k disorder. Yeah. You saw there, right? Nangong on our best team. Basically 1 billion disorders per hit. So yeah. If you build your Nangong properly, and if she has proper teams, she's able to do damage numbers like that. Mostly in Angels of Delusion, she performs at her best because all of them just function really, really well together. So yeah, but anyways, I guess I could explain more of how Angels of Delusion plays because they are kinda to play. They're kind of clunky. So basically, you want to just swap in with Sunna and then just do an EX, which is pretty easy enough. And then you swap into Aria and just do massive attacks with your plunges, and then just trigger some attribute anomalies. Then you swap into Nangong if you have enough downbeats. Downbeats is the meter that she has, so she's able to just get 100 downbeats. If you have 100 downbeats, you're able to just consume your downbeats to just land your third hit of your charge attack. So that's basically it. And then you just rinse and repeat until the enemy dies. So yeah, it's pretty easy to play. Well, anyways, that is it for AOD, and as well as just well, main DPS Aria. Nangong with Aria, as you see there, it's really good. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the next Anomaly agent. So let's keep the showcases going. Alrighty, so the next agent I'm going to be showcasing with Nangong is Alice Timefield. So Alice is just your typical just main DPS Anomaly agent. She triggers her own disorders, which is really good since all of her disorder damage just deals massive damage. It's really broken. So yeah, but the reason why Nangong is able to just support Alice really well is because Alice needs disorders in order to charge up her Blade Etiquette. Her Blade Etiquette is her main source of damage. 300 Blade Etiquette lets you do the level 3 charge attack for Alice to deal massive disorder damage. So with Nangong, as long as you're able to stun the enemy, you're able to trigger your own polarity disorders as long as the enemy, of course, is afflicted with attribute anomalies, which means that Nangong is able to just do massive, well, polarity disorder damage and so on Abloom, and just deal massive, again, just damage. It's just really good damage. So yeah, Nangong is able to just deal massive damage to the enemy, just trigger disorders for Alice to get more Blade Etiquette stacks for her to just do her level 3 charges faster. So yeah, it's really important. Nangong is just one of the best supports in the game. And speaking of one of the best supports in the game, we have Yuzuha here to support the team. So I guess I could get this out of the way before we move on any further with the showcase of this team. So I would say that Yuzuha and Nangong are basically just equal in terms of just support power and as well as just power in general. Both of them just do basically the same thing. They just support the team and just deal massive damage to the enemy. It's basically just equal. I would say that Nangong and Yuzuha are just equal. So yeah, there is really no best Anomaly support in the game. I would say that both of them are just equal. So yeah, Yuzuha, Nangong, they are basically inseparable. You just run both of them. So yeah, it's really good and really important that you just run both of them. So yeah. Well, anyways, enough about that. Enough about my explanation as to why I think Nangong and Yuzuha are equal. Let's talk about Yuzuha herself. So the reason why Yuzuha is really good is because if you have your additional ability active for Yuzuha, you're able to increase the team's attribute anomaly damage by 20% and as well as disorder damage by 20%. Both of them are really important because Nangong and Alice are able to trigger their own respective attribute anomalies, and also when well, the 20% disorder damage, it's really good if you just land your disorders. Alice lands her own disorders pretty easily. You just need to do a level 3 charge attack. For Nangong, all you need to do is send the enemy and just trigger your polarity disorders as long as you just do a basic EX or quick assist. And yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, both of them just benefit really well with Yuzuha because Yuzuha is just able to just buff attribute damage and as well as disorder damage. So yeah, and well, now it's time to showcase the team. So here we go. So we have Alice, who's the main DPS. We have Yuzuha, who's going to be the support. We also have Nangong in the back right there, just doing her thing, just stunning the enemy. And as for the Bing Boom choice, we have Miss Esme, who's going to be giving us free energy and HP. But mostly, it's going to be energy because we're not going to get hit. So yeah. Well, anyways, the reason why I positioned Yuzuha in the middle instead of in the back is because Yuzuha is able to trigger quick assist. For Nangong, as long as the enemy is stunned, you're able to trigger your quick assist, and then Nangong is able to at least trigger her dance prowesses if the enemy is stunned. So it's very important for us to just put a quick assist activator and then just put Nangong next to it so she's able to trigger her quick assist. So that way we're able to consume all of the dance prowesses quickly enough. So yeah. Well, anyways, we're going to be swapping into Alice, going into Yuzuha, get some candy stacks. We're going to be going into EX because we do have a lot of energy for that. So yeah, sometimes Nangong is able to have a lot of energy, so that's why you can't just swap. But we're going to be going into charges. There we go. Nice. Really good. And I think we should be done with Pompeii. There we go. Yep. That was a 30-second Pompeii. That was pretty quick. Alright. Hopefully we can stun the enemy. Sometimes Pompeii is just really, really hard to stun. So yeah, it's not really, really hard to do. Anyways, we're gonna be going into EX right there, free dodge. 200k assault. That's it. That's some really, really good damage. Alright, we're gonna be going to charge. We're going into Nangong, into ult, and we're gonna be going to EX and just do the 3 charges. So yeah, there we go. We have 400k disorder. That's pretty good damage. Alright, there we go. Nice. Alright. We're going into EX, and well, that's it. We didn't go into EX, but there we go. Pompeii, that was a minute? Yeah, that was a minute. Even though I didn't play that team optimally, I would say that, yeah, it's just a really, really good team in general. Since Nangong just has massive AM, she's able to just trigger some attribute anomalies for the team. So basically, she just functions as a secondary anomaly agent for Alice. So yeah, she's able to just trigger disorders. You see there, we got a disorder corruption on Pompeii. So yeah, Nangong is just really, really good in general. As you see there, Nangong and, well, Alice, they're really, really well together. Do disorder damage. So yeah, it's a pretty good synergy. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the next anomaly agent to showcase. Alrighty, so the next anomaly agent I'm going to be showcasing with Nangong is Vivian Banshee. So Vivian, well, she has fallen from grace now, and that's because Nangong exists. Nangong is basically just the new Vivian. So now Vivian is just basically part of your secondary team. So yeah, Nangong is just part of your first team, and then Vivian's just part of your second team. So that's basically how it is. But, well, Vivian is still really, really good. I mean, she triggers, well, disorder damage for you. She's able to trigger some attribute anomalies as well as a bloom damage. So yeah, Vivian is still pretty good. It's just that she's outshined by, well, the newest anomaly support and sub DPS in the game. So yeah, Nangong is basically just a Vivian replacement. But Vivian is still good in her own right. You just run her on your secondary team. Well, anyways, speaking of the team, we have right here a meme team. And that's because Aria, well, this is not Aria's best team. This is like a really, really weird team that I'm able to just come up with. But it's possible because we have a 3 synergy on this team. And it's a really, really meme team, and that's because Aria needs Ether Veil supports. But the only way we're able to get Ether Veil on this team is if Nangong or Aria ults. That's the only way we're able to get Ether Veils. So Aria is not able to get a bunch of fandom power. The only way we can get fandom power is if she does EXs herself. So yeah, but Vivian is here just to trigger some corruption damage as well as just trigger Ablooms. And since Aria and Vivian both trigger Ablooms, it's really, really good. They're just able to do massive Abloom damage. And for Nangong, of course, Nangong's just here just to support the team and also trigger some disorders. So basically, well, this is just a mono ether team. Anyways, let's just showcase this. So we have Aria, who's the main DPS. We have Vivian, who's the sub DPS. We have Nangong, who's going to be the sub DPS and support for the team. As for Bang Blue of choice, since we are going to be showcasing Vivian, we're going to be showcasing Robin, who is at S5. And also Robin's really, really good because as long as we have anomaly agents on the team, we have anomaly buildup of 180%. And well, Robin does ether damage, meaning that we just get more ether. It's ether everywhere, all day, every day, corruption. So yeah. Well, anyways, this team's gonna be just really, really weird to run, but we're gonna be swapping into Nangong sometimes because we do have to land that 3rd hit of her charge basic attack because that's what we have to do. Just land a 3rd charge basic, and then as long as the enemy is stunned, we're able to do some polarity disorders. But so far, we can't even stun the enemy because, well, Nangong is not played like your traditional stunner. You play her like a literal sub DPS where you swap into her sometimes and then just do massive damage with her. So yeah, well, anyways, we're going to be doing that right now. We're going to be swapping into Nangong, do EX, and then just do big damage. As see there, we're able to trigger some Ablooms because of this team. It's really, really good. Alright, now we go into Aria. And also another important reason why you have to trigger some well, yeah, the reason why you have to trigger anomaly damage and just get attribute anomalies is because you get downbeats. Downbeats allows Nangong to just do massive charge attack damage, which is right here. We're gonna be going into just a big charge attack. There we go, nice. And we go into Vivian, go into Nangong. And we have 2 dance prowesses that we're able to spend. So we're going to be seeing a lot of damage here. So let's see. There we go. Yep. Really, really busted, I would say. On a mono ether team, we beat the marionette in under a minute. Yeah, the twin ballets. It's really, really broken. As you see there, as long as Nangong is able to damage the opponent, as well as just trigger some attribute anomalies, you're able to just get a bunch of damage. And also, if the enemy is stunned, you just do massive polarity disorders. It's really, really broken. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the Nangong with Vivian. As you see there, it works fine. I mean, even with a meme team like Mono Ether, we're still able to just do massive damage to the enemy. So yeah, Vivian, Nangong, despite Nangong being better than Vivian, if you run both of them together, you should get some good results. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the next anomaly agent. Let's keep the showcase going. Alrighty, so the next anomaly agent I'm going to be showcasing with Nangong is Miyabi. As everyone already knows, Miyabi is one of the best anomaly DPSs in the game. She's up there with basically just Aria and best anomaly agent in the game. If you put Miyabi and Aria on their best teams, I would say both of them are just equal in being the best anomaly DPS in the game. So yeah, both of them are equal in power. So yeah, there's really no one best anomaly DPS in the game. I say both of them are just equal. So yeah, but Miyabi, she's able to do massive damage. She's really easy to play. You just do EXs and then as well as just trigger a bunch of disorder damage to gain her stacks in order to do her massive charge attack, which is really, really important because her massive charge attack just absolutely just gives the enemy just an attribute anomaly damage because she's able to build it up very, very fast. So yeah, speaking of attribute anomaly damage, I'm gonna be explaining this before I never explain it. I have to explain it now because I didn't explain it before. But Nangong's downbeats, her downbeat system is really important because that is what her main bread and butter is. So downbeats is what allows Nangong to do her charge attacks in the first place. Her first charge attack is free, but her second and third needs a specific number of downbeats. She's able to get a maximum of 100 downbeats from her passive. And in order to gain downbeats, she's able to recover it naturally by just being on the field and also being off field. So she's able to just get downbeats in general if you don't do anything. But you want to trigger attribute anomaly damage. The reason why you want to do that is because every time you do that, Nangong is able to charge up her downbeats very, very fast. If you're able to just charge up your downbeats very, very fast, you're able to get a lot of downbeats, which means that you're able to just do charge attacks more often. The more charge attacks he's able to do, the more you activate your core passive, and as well as, of course, stunning the enemy very, very fast. It is her main core. It is her main bread and butter. You do not want to put Nangong as a main character on the field, and that's because Nangong is not played like your traditional stunner. You have to put her off field. So if you want to get her to stun very, very fast, you just have to trigger as much attribute anomaly damage as possible to charge her down beats so that she's able to do her charge attacks. So yeah. Well, anyways, enough about that explanation on her down beats. I finally got that out of the way, so now you know how Nangong is able to be played. You just charge up your down beats, and then you just do EXs every now and then. So yeah, it's basically just your typical sub DPS. So yeah. Well, anyways, enough about that. It's time to showcase the Miyabi team in action. This is actually one of Nangong's best teams as well. Remember when I said that besides AOD, this Miyabi team is her best team? This is it. This is one of Nangong's best teams. So, well, let's showcase it. So we have Miyabi, who's the main DPS. We have Yuzuha, who's going to be the support. We have Nangong, who's just going to be the sub DPS support hybrid. And we have right here the main blue of choice, Snap, who gives us a it just gives us a free damage boost right here, which is really, really good. So yeah, but Snap is one of the best Bang Blue in the game. Everyone already knows how good Snap is. It's just really, really busted. You don't really need the 2 stars of Lyra members because that just gives you just HP healing, which is useless because this is not stars of Lyra, and plus they don't need to heal anyway, because they're just anomaly agents. So yeah, but the massive damage boost for Snap is really, really good. That's the reason why it's the best Bang Boo in the game, because you don't need a conditional You'll need to activate their conditional ability to activate the damage boost. So yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna be showcasing Miyabi right here. Of course, for Yuzuha, Yuzuha is really, really good as well because she's able to trigger well, disorder damage and as well as just boost disorder damage in general. So yeah, it's really, really good. Anyways, we're gonna be parrying with Miyabi, and we're gonna be going into Nangong in a second to just do her charge attacks. All right. We're not gonna be wasting all of our downbeats because, well, we just killed Dead and Butcher in like 20 seconds. So yeah, really not necessary. All right, let's go into the EX right here. We're gonna be doing a charge attack, going into Yuzuha, going into a quick assist, and going into EX right here and just do the big charge attack. Nice. Go into Miyabi. Let's do a charge. Alright, that did disorder damage. 800k disorder damage. Yeah, yeah, as you see there, I mean, Miyabi on well, this team with Nangong is broken, as you see there. As long as Nangong is able to just pair up with their well, attribute anomaly damage, just get really good anomaly agents on the field, Nangong is able to just support them like that. So yeah, as you see there, Miyabi, Nangong, really, really good. I mean, pair up one of the best anomaly DPSs in the game with one of the best anomaly supports in the game, and you get that, basically. So, yeah. As you see there, Nangong with Miyabi, really, really good. So, yeah. Anyways, time to move on to the next anomaly agent to showcase. Alrighty, so the next anomaly agent going to be showcasing with Nangong is Tsukishiro Yanagi. Yanagi is basically just a disorder sub DPS. She's literally a disorder sub DPS. You use EXs to trigger disorders, and that's basically it. As long as the enemy is afflicted with an attribute anomaly, Yanagi is able to just do EXs and then just both trigger disorders. But the main reason why Yanagi is just really, really good is because she basically increases the damage multiplier of disorders for every single member of the team. As long as you just do EX once. Just do one EX and then you're able to boost the damage of all disorders by 15 seconds. It's really, really good. It's super, super busted. And well, for this team right here, we basically have just agents that just trigger disorders. Alice triggers disorders on demand, and Nangong, as long as the enemy is stunned, we're able to do polarity disorders. So yeah, Yanagi is able to just boost both of them, and I'm pretty sure this team's gonna be just really, really well. I call it the triple disorder team. Well, anyways, well, enough rambling. It's time to showcase just how strong this team is. So, well, let's get this started. So we have Alice, who's the main DPS. We have Yanagi, who is the sub DPS. We have Nangong, who's going to be the sub DPS and support. Big Boo of choice, of course, is going to be our boy Snap for the big damage boost. Snap, again, as I said before, it's the best Bang Boo in the game. So, yeah. Well, anyways, this seems going to be very, very interesting. Because Yanagi is mainly functioning as a sub DPS, so Alice can be the main DPS. We swap into Nangong sometimes, and since both of them are able to just trigger their attribute damage really, really fast anyway, Nangong is able to just gain a lot of downbeats, which means that we're able to at least land our third hit basics on the boss. Anyways, let's get this started. Alright, first things first, we're going to be going into Alice. Actually, no. Let's go into Yanagi. Let's do 1 EX. Go into Alice. And that should be good enough. Yeah, there we go. We're able to trigger Assault. And then we can go into Yanagi and do the disorder damage. I see there, 200k disorders. Really, really good. We go into 3 basics right here with Nangong. And just trigger another disorder. 200k disorder damage. Yep. Just really, really broken damage in general. And we just basically won... I think that was 30-second phase 1 on Unknown Corruption Complex. That's really, really good. Anyways, we're going into the charge attack again. We're going into Yanagi. And let's go into Nangong. And just do the charges. There we go. As you see there, her gameplay is just really, really easy. You just swap into Nangong sometimes. And then just do your damage. As long as you trigger as much disorder damage as you can. You just do big damage in general. Okay, so we're going into ult with Yanagi. See how much damage it does. 200k, 200k on disorders. Yep, just typical numbers. Go into Nangong. Let's go into ult. Let's go into EX as well. Might as well. Alright, we can go into Yanagi. Alright, let's go into Nangong. Go into Alice. And there we go, that's basically it. We are able to at least stun the enemy once, so that was pretty good. The only other stun that we were able to get was the twin marionettes, but at least we got a stun with Nangong Yu. But as you see there, with the stun, Nangong Yu's damage is just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, as long as you're able to stun the enemy, Nangong Yu is able to do damage numbers like that. So yeah, as you see there with Yanagi, Nangong Yu just has perfect synergy with Yanagi. So yeah, you can't just run this wacky team and just do big massive damage to the enemy. Just disorders all day, every day, everywhere. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for just well, Yanagi and Nangong Yu. It's time to move on to the next anomaly agent. Alrighty, so the next anomaly agent gonna be showcasing with Nangong Yu is Burnice. So similar to Yanagi, Burnice is just a sub DPS. You just go into the field, you just ignite the enemy with flames, and then you swap off field, and then you refuel every now and then. That's literally how you play as Burnice. And sometimes when her core passive activates and you get the stack, you switch into her, and then she just deals fire damage. That's basically it. And well, let's talk about well, my Burnice. So my Burnice is at P6. I just have to showcase here. Yes, she is at P6 with M1. So yeah, that's what my Burnice is packing. So you are going to be seeing, well, not an M0 P1 Burnice showcase on this team, but well, this should be close enough, I would say, to lay well, just a normal Burnice showcase on this team. Well, anyways, Nangong Yu is able to just support Burnice, just like Yanagi, just able to help support any anomaly agent, because that is what she's able to do. So yeah, player disorders, and yeah, it's just gonna be doing massive damage. Well, anyways, time to showcase the team. So we have Alice, who's the main DPS. We have Burnice, who's going to be the sub DPS of the team. We have Nangong Yu, who's also going to be a sub DPS and support. Big move choice, Snap again. Snap will always be our #1 choice. If you can pick Snap for your Bing Boo, just pick Snap. Snap is really broken. So yeah, works on every single anomaly team. Can't go wrong with Snap. Well, anyways, this team just synergizes well, because Alice is just going to be the main DPS on the field. We swap into Burnice and Nangong sometimes. So this means that this team is basically just low maintenance in general. So yeah, we just have to swap into them sometimes to just pull out their skills. Anyways, first things first, we're going to be doing the charge. We're going to be going into charge as well with Burnice. There we go. And then let's go into Nangong. Able to trigger our EXs right there, and let's do some EXs with Alice and land some. There we go, nice. Go into a charge attack. Let's go into Burnice. Let's fuel up. There we go. Go into Nangong. Alright, and there we go. Alright, I am gonna be staying on Nangong because I can't just do the charge basic on it. There we go. And then we go into the third. There we go. Alright, now we swap into Burnice. Go swap into Alice, and then just continue what we're supposed to do, which is just trigger some attribute anomalies. Yeah, but as you see there, the team's able to just deal with Pompey very fast, as long as, of course, you're able to just track him down. Pompey loves to move around a lot, which is the reason why he's like one of the most annoying enemies to face in like Deadly Assault, because he just moves around a lot. You don't have a chance to just move. Anyways, we're gonna be going into ult. We're able to just do quick assist on Nangong, do an EX, and then just do the charges. And then this should stun him right here. The ult should stun him, and we're able to just do big stun damage. Alright, so I'm going to be canceling here, because we're going to be going into EX. And there we go. And we just go into this. And yeah, the enemy is finished, and I just want to finish it off with a Burnice chain. But as you see there, big polarity disorder damage, synergizes well with just sub DPSs in general, just like Yanagi. So yeah, I mean, Burnice sub DPS, if you just have Nangong, you're able to just slap her on there, and she's able to perform fine. So yeah, Nangong is just a really great just support in general for all of these anomaly agents, and Burnice is no exception. So yeah. Well, anyways, that's it for Burnice. Now it's time to move on to the next anomaly agent. Alrighty, so the next anomaly agent I'm going to be showcasing with Nangong Yu is Jane. So Jane is basically kind of like Alice, where she's just a main DPS, but she doesn't trigger disorders, but rather triggers attribute anomalies very fast, because her anomaly buildup is insane. So yeah, she's able to just trigger assaults all day, every day, like crazy, and that is what Jane is. She's just a assault DPS. And also, her synergy is just really, really weird. You do need her additional ability though to just get anomaly buildup, but her additional ability requires an anomaly or same faction. So you are forced to use a anomaly agent if you want to just play Nangong on a Jane team. And that is the reason why we brought in Vivian, who is one of the best sub DPSs in the game. So yes, I guess you can say that if you want to just well, run Vivian on a team, I guess you can just run Jane or just run her on like a Miyabi team. But yeah, in order for Jane to function with Nangong, we needed another secondary anomaly agent, and we have Vivian here, who's basically just gonna be our sub DPS on the team. We can run 2 main DPS anomaly agents, but Jane is mostly she just mostly wants to be on the field at all times. So that's the reason why we're just gonna bring Vivian here, just for her to support the team. And of course, it's gonna be helping out with Nangong's passive, where as long as we trigger a attribute anomaly, we're able to just get downbeats. So it's really, really good for us in general. So we have a fast anomaly buildup with another fast anomaly buildup, which helps fuel Nangong. So yeah, it's pretty good. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase the team. So we have Jane, who's the main DPS. We have Vivian, who's going to be the sub DPS. And as for the the sub DPS again and the support, we have Nangong. Since we are going to be running Vivian, we are going to be running Robin for the 180% anomaly buildup. It's really, really good. So yeah. Well, anyways, let's just showcase how good this team is. So Jane, even though she did fall off, she still has pretty good options. Again, Vivian is one of them, but Nangong is also another option for her too, as long as you're able to just pair her up with a anomaly agent. So yeah, Jane has pretty good options. I would say that just Nangong is just really good in a lot of anomaly teams in general. She has pretty good synergy with all of them. So yeah, but if you can just pair up everyone, or at least the anomaly agents with your other anomaly agents, you should be good to go. So yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna be going into Vivian, go into Nangong, and just do an EX every now and then. We do have a bunch of EX uses. Anyways, we're gonna be dodging right here. We should be having our first assault. There we go. That is 100k assault. We're gonna be going into the charge attack. Nice. Going to EX. Oh yeah, and we missed, of course. Pompey loves to just move around a lot in his motorcycle. I would say that Pompey is probably one of the most annoying bosses in the game in general. So yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna be going into just charge attacks with Nangong. And see there, her pretty sure her decibel count is really, really high at this point, so we can land at least one ult, I hope. Anyways, let's go into ult with Jane. Nice. Let's go into the charge, trigger some assault damage, and let's parry with Vivian. There we go. Let's go into ult. This should stun lock Pompey. There we go. Let's go into Nangong. Let's go into EX into 3 hits, and then we can go into ult, which should stun lock him. There we go. Nice. And we're going back into Jane just to trigger some assault damage. There we go. Let's see how much damage it does. This is 100k with 100k disorder, I'm pretty sure. Let's parry with Nangong. Alrighty, so now we can just use Nangong. Go into Vivian. And let's go into Nangong. So we're gonna be doing the charge attacks. And there we go. Yeah, as you see there, we're able to just trigger our polarity disorder right there and just deal massive damage. I know I didn't time it correctly, but Pompey was gonna die anyway, so I can't just hold the button. But yeah, there we go. But anyways, as you see there, Jane and Nangong, as long as you're able to just pair them up together, it should be fine for the most part. Nangong is just good on every single anomaly team, as you see there, and this proves it. I mean, Jane doesn't have Yuzuha, but she doesn't need Yuzuha if we have Nangong. So yeah, it's pretty good. Anyways, that is it for Jane. It's pretty good with Nangong. So yeah. And now, it's time to move on to the next Anomaly Agent 2 showcase. Alrighty, so the next Anomaly Agent I'm going to be showcasing here is Grace with Nangong. So Grace is basically just a well, she's just a main DPS. You can also make her a sub DPS if you want, but it's very, very wonky if you play as her as a sub DPS. But it can be done, I would say. You can just make Grace a sub DPS, but mainly she wants to be ran as a main DPS. And also, well, Grace is a standard banner character. So if you can pull for Nangong Yu, you can pull for Grace by accident. And then you can just run Grace and you get a decent team, I would say. But Grace right here, her main gameplay is literally just to trigger just a bloom damage, and that's basically it. So yeah, Grace's gameplay is really, really easy. You just chuck grenades, and that's basically it. Nangong Yu, again, benefits well with Grace. High attribute buildup means that Nangong Yu just gets more downbeats. So yeah. And of course, well, Vivian's here for a bloom damage. So, well, anyways, without further ado, let's just showcase the Grace team. So we have Grace, who's the main DPS. We have Vivian, who's the sub DPS. We have Nangong Yu, who's also the sub DPS and support for the team. Big move of choice. We're going to be going with Snap this time. We already showcased Robin a couple times, so let's showcase Snap on a Vivian team. Because for Vivian, you mainly want to run Robin, but sometimes you want to run Snap. I'm running Snap because, well, Grace's damage is kind of eh. So yeah, I'm going to be running Snap just to compensate for Grace damage. Well, anyways, without any further ado, let's just showcase how good this team is. Well, anyways, well, let's just go. Grace is really, really easy to play. You want to get her ult as fast as possible to trigger just the chuck grenades animation where she chucks like 30 grenades. It's really, really fun to play. So you just do basic attacks. Once your meter is full, you just do an EX right there and then just chuck your grenades. She's a really, really easy agent to play. Alright, let's go into Nangong. Right there. So trigger some disorders right there. I see a disorder, corruption. She does all of it, as you see there. Then go into Nangong. And we're able to get our downbeats very, very fast because we have agents that just trigger all of these anomalies for us. It's really, really free. Anyways, let's chuck another grenade. We can chuck another one. There we go. And just do big, massive damage. Alright, let's chuck another one. And there we go. Alright, that was a 35-second phase 1. That's some pretty good damage. But anyways, we're going to be going into Vivian because Vivian is close to getting her EXs. So let's do that. Let's go into EX with Nangong. Let's do the big charge attacks. And let's do an ult. This should trigger all of her stacks right there. Nice. We go into Vivian. Let's do an ult with Vivian. And then we should be able to just do an ult with Grace. So let's do ult with Grace. Alright, and now we hold EX and chuck as much grenades as we can. And do massive Abloom damage. There we go. As you see there, really, really good damage in general. As long as you trigger disorder. Yeah, see there, 200k disorders on Grace, by the way. It's really, really good. Alright, let's do it again. And then we should be able to just do our charges. And there we go. Alright, now we go to Vivian and just finish it off. Yeah, as you see there, Nangong Yu is able to just do big massive damage to the enemy, and yeah, it's basically just GG's at this point. But yeah, as you see there, Grace and Nangong Yu, they pair up really, really well together, so it's not the end of the world if you just pull Grace on like your 50-50 loss. You can make use of Grace if you really want to, and just do massive damage just like that. So yes, it can be done. Well, yeah, that's basically it for all of the S ranks. There is one more agent to showcase, and that is the only A rank anomaly agent in the game. So, well, let's showcase this last anomaly agent. Alrighty, so the last anomaly agent I'm going to be showcasing with Nangong Yu is Piper Wheel. Piper Wheel is literally the only A rank anomaly DPS that we have, and also just A rank anomaly in general. Piper is really, really good. People say that she is basically just Jane. She's just literally A-rank Jane as long as you have her M6. But Piper deals massive damage. She's able to trigger attribute anomalies very, very fast thanks to her anomaly buildup. So just like every single other anomaly agent, they pair up well with Nangong Yu. As long as you're able to just trigger your attribute anomalies, Nangong Yu is able to get her downbeats. And of course, downbeats lead to stun. Stun leads to polarity disorders. So yeah, thankfully for Piper, her additional ability is pretty good. Because, well, all she needs is a same attribute or faction, and luckily Yuzuha is a physical attribute, so she's able to pair up with Piper, and Yuzuha, as you already know, is one of the best anomaly supports in the game. So Piper having access to Yuzuha is really, really beneficial. This means that you're able to just pair her up with Nangong, who all she needs is just an anomaly character on the team. And, well, as you see here, we basically have a really broken Piper team. Well, let's just showcase how good this team is. So we have Piper, who's the main DPS. We have Yuzuha, who's going to be the support. We have Nangong, who's going to be the sub-DPS support. And as for Bangbu of choice, again, good old reliable Snap. If you don't have team synergies, if you don't have two agents of the same faction, or if you just don't have Vivian in general, then you just run good old Snap. Snap is the best Bangbu in the game. So, yeah. Well, anyways, we're going to be seeing a lot of damage with Piper. Mainly, Piper is just an on-field DPS, so you're going to be seeing her most of the time just spamming her EXs and just spinning around like crazy. That is how you play as Piper. Piper is really easy to play. Anyways, let's showcase how good Piper is. So, first things first, we're going to be going into EXs. We're going to be wasting some of them because we do have just a bunch of stuff that we can use. There we go. Let's go into EXs right here. Let's go into Piper EX. And let's dodge right here. We do not want to get hit with Piper because Piper is kind of frail in general. There we go. We have 100k assault. Let's see how much assault this does. 200k assault. Yeah, these are just typical numbers that we're able to see. Let's go here. Let's go into EX. And let's go into charges. Nice. Alright. And we should be able to trigger corruption. Pretty good right there. And let's do another set of EXs. There you go. 200k assault. The only problem with Piper is that her EXs, I'm pretty sure it doesn't give you invulnerability, so you do have to be careful quite a bit in order to just play Piper, because sometimes when you land EXs, it's not free. You are able to get hit and just die for it if you are not careful enough. So that's the reason why you just have to be careful with Piper. Anyways, we're going to be swapping in right here. We're going to be going into Piper. And let's go into EX. And then into ult. This should... I hope this is able to stop him. Yep, there we go. Nice. We have 200k assaults again. Yeah, as you see there, Piper's able to do big damage despite being an A rank. She's just really good at that. And now we should be able to... stun Pompeii now. Because we do have a bunch of downbeats. Yeah, this should stun him right here. There we go. Alright, now we go into Piper. Let's go into Nangong and then go into Yuzuha, which gives us the free swap. But it doesn't really matter because, well, as you see there, it's just... We just killed Pompeii before we even have a chance to do a polarity disorder. Well, there you go. As you see there, Piper on Nangong is really good. As long as you build your Piper properly, you are able to just do massive damage. So yeah, as you see there, Piper, Nangong really good. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for all of the anomaly agents in the game. Now it's time to showcase one last team, and that is a Nangong free-to-play team. Let's showcase that. Alrighty, so this is going to be the last team I'm going to be showcasing, and that is a Nangong free-to-play team. So I would go Piper Grace, but I would say that Lucy is also another viable option for you because Lucy is a support that buffs attack. And since they buff attack, well, Lucy does, they are able to get massive attack buffs for, well, Piper and Nangong, which basically just increases your damage in general. And for Nangong, in this case, her polarity disorders. So it's really good to have. And also, Lucy has perfect synergy with Piper since both of them are just Sons of Caledon agents. So yeah, it's a really good synergy. Well, anyways, let's showcase how good this free-to-play team is. So we have Piper, who's the main DPS. We have Lucy, who's going to be the support. We have Nangong, who's going to be the sub-DPS support. And for Bangbu of choice, every single Bangbu is a free-to-play. You can literally just pull for whatever Bangbu you want. So you already know what I'm going to say. Pull for Snap, because Snap is the best Bangbu in the game. So yeah, the first Bangbu you have to pull for, Snap. Just pull for Snap. Snap is broken. But well, enough about talking about Snap. Let's talk about the free-to-play team. So the free-to-play team is just your typical just team. You just replace Yuzuha with Lucy, and that's basically it. I mean, Lucy is a really good support in general. Her EXs are pretty quick. You can just swap into her every now and then. She's pretty easy to play. Anyways, we're going to be swapping into Lucy. So let's go into EX with Nangong. Let's go into EX with Piper. and then just hopefully land some hits on Pompey, even though it is pretty impossible to land a couple hits on him because he is just moving around constantly. So yeah. Anyways, let's go into EX and just land the first set of stuns. There we go. Let's go into Lucy. Go back into Piper. And we should be able to trigger at least one assault right here. Get some downbeats in for Nangong. Alright. There you go. We got 100k on assaults. And this is a free-to-play team, by the way. This is some really good damage. Alright. We're going to be getting a stun right here. Alright, let's go into Lucy, go into Piper, and there we go. That's some pretty good damage. As you see there, I'm pretty sure that the polarity disorder did, I think, 200k or somewhere around the lines of that. But yeah, we're able to just trigger some massive damage with the team. It's really, really good. Alright, let's go into ult. Let's cancel the parry animation because we can. Alright, there we go. Let's go into ult with Nangong. Alright, 50 days. We should be close to just stunning him. There we go. Let's go into ult with Piper. Alright. And hopefully we stun Pompey here. We just have to stun him. Alright, let's swap into Nangong and just trigger the stun. There we go. Alright. Go into Piper. We go into Nangong. And we go into Lucy, which gives us the quick assist. This should trigger some polarity disorders for us. There we go. And let's go into here. We have 200k polarity disorders. As you see there, it does massive, and I mean massive damage. Of course, if you run proper teams. But yeah, on a Lucy and Piper free-to-play team, we're able to do like 200k disorders, which is a good enough for a free-to-play team. So yeah. Well, there you go. Nangong on a free-to-play team, really, really good. As long as you're able to just pair it up with an anomaly agent, again, Nangong is just able to perform really, really well. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the team showcase segment of the video. Now it's time to move on to the Hollow Zero segment. Let's move on to the next segment. Alrighty, here we are in Hollow Zero. So this time I'm going to be doing a periodic Hollow Zero, and that's because, well, it's pretty good because we are able to work with, well, auxiliary agents. Auxiliary agents are pretty fun to play because they just do like, it's just basically an extra attack that an agent's able to do. And thankfully for our agent ups, we have Nangong and Aria. So it's pretty easy for us. And besides, we fight Vesper, and Vesper is weak to ether, so it's perfect for us. And if we are able to just do standard's not really good for us because we have 2 bosses that are immune to ether, so it's not really worth it for us to just go for that. So for this well, Hollow Zero run, we're gonna be going for the periodic Hollow Zero. So well, let's set our ether activities. So we're gonna be going for this one, and let's go into this one. We can go for this one as well. We can go this one as well. And then we can go into Miasmic, Corruption, and then we need 2 more. Let's go with Res, and then this. Yeah, this should be good to go. Alright, yep. We're gonna be going with this one. Okay, so that's gonna be our Ether Activity 8. The reason why we go Ether Activity 8 for these showcases is because for Ether Activity 8, as you see there, we have to clear the stage at Ether Activity 8 because it's one of our missions. So that's the reason why we go Ether Activity 8 on these showcases. And besides, we need some challenges for the video, so that is why we're going to be doing Ether Activity 8. So anyways, let's go with the teams. So we're going to be going to Nangong, actually no, Aria, Nangong, and then Sunna, if we can find Sunna. Sunna's right there. And go into the Bangbu, which is going to be biggest fan. And for auxiliary agents, since we are running anomaly teams, we're going to be running Burnice. Burnice is really, really good because she's able to give anomaly build-up res reduction, which is really, really nice. And we're able to just do disorder damage, which is pretty good as well. So, well, we're going to be going with this team. Let's see how good we're able to perform with Angels of Delusion. Because Angels of Delusion is Nangong Yu's best team. It's one of our best teams, honestly. And for, well, Burnice, we have to just get anomaly. Let's just get anomaly stuff in general. We need anomalies, Razonia. Alright, let's talk about the let's talk about the equipment, shall we? So for Nangong Yu, her equipment is very, very unique, but all of them are basically, well, they function kind of the same. So for this equipment right here, Focus Shift, you're able to basically, as long as you trigger a Disorder or an Abloom, you're able to attack with Nangong Yu off field with a chain attack. Every time you land a chain attack, and if the enemy is afflicted by these attributes, you're able to do anomaly damage equal to that, which is really, really good. So yeah, and also right here, let's talk about the alpha and beta. So on the alpha, you get a attribute res decrease as long as you land a chain attack, and for the beta, you're able to increase your damage by 30% if you land a chain attack heavy. So basically, it's either you choose between a all attribute res reduction or a 30% damage increase. I would say just go for the 30% damage increase because it's 30% damage increase. For the second equipment, it's pretty simple. So every time Nangong Yu uses a precise charge, you get 4 energy, and also every time you use a chain attack, you get 120 decibels. This means that you're able to just accelerate your ult very fast and also gain energy for your team, which is pretty good. For the alpha thing, you're able to just get a pen ratio of 20%, pretty good on anomaly teams. For beta, you get a 30% increased days dealt via your charge attacks. So basically, it's either you get pen ratio or you get days. The days is really good for Nangong if you just want her to stun, but pen ratio is also good just for the whole team in general. So yeah, this specific equipment is good just to support the team. And as for Spotlight Solo is just mainly like if you are going to be running Nangong Yu as like your main agent on the field. So you get a AP increase of 60. For every downbeat you consume, you get energy back. So you get basically 0.30 energy back, which is pretty nice. When you do a precise charge, you're able to launch a chain attack when you do a basic attack, which is really, really easy. And every time you do a precise charge, your anomaly build-up rate increases by 20%, which is really, really good. So yeah, you just get a big, massive damage, which is really, really nice. So yeah, basically Nangong Yu just becomes a main DPS. When you do a basic attack on your alpha, all of your anomaly damage just increased by 65%. This means that, yeah, Nangong Yu just becomes a main DPS. For beta, you just get a reduced enemy defense of 20%, which is really, really nice. So yeah, as you see there, Spotlight Solo is just mainly just a main DPS Nangong. So it's either you run support Nangong, you run a another support Nangong, or you run main DPS Nangong. I'm going to be going with Focus Shift because it allows her to do free chain attacks off field, so we're going to be equipping this. Alrighty, and as you see here, since we do have all of the angels, we are able to just get this cool well, animation, this just idle animation. It's pretty nice. It's really, really cool that we're able to just get this, and with all of their costumes too, with their W engine effects, so it's pretty nice. Anyways, we're going to be moving on, and we're going to be going into General Resonium because it's pretty easy to get those. So yeah, we're going to be going into General Resonium. And then I'm pretty sure we should be good to go. Yeah, we can't just pick the we do need gear coins somewhat. Actually no, let's go with the right path with all of the combat Resonium. Alrighty. Okay, alright, let's do this. Alright, so we're gonna be going into Aria first, and then just do a bunch of charge attacks. Luckily for Nangong, since her chain attack is really, really good, we're able to just get crowd controls for free. Yeah, the reason why that equip is just so good is because of just the free chain attacks you're able to do with Nangong. Alright, we're gonna be going into third charge, and there we go. And we go into Aria and finish things off. And I think that should be it, right? Now we just have one more enemy to deal with. Alright. Let's go into Sunna. Go into Aria. She did get stuck on the wall, okay. Alright, let's see how much damage we're able to do. Abloom, so I think that was 200k Abloom, right? I'm pretty sure that was 200k. Alrighty, that was pretty nice in general. Alright, let's refresh. This is pretty bad for us. This is also pretty bad. I guess we could just choose the perfect dodge, I guess. Let's get the General Resonium out of the way. Let's go into combat. Let's see what we get here. Hopefully we just get anomaly ones, because the only terrible part about these I'm pretty sure, yeah, the only terrible part about these like limited this periodic yeah, the periodic Hollow Zeros is because you just can't get all the Resoniums you want. It's kind of hard to get a 6 Resonium in this mode, because it's just really hard in general. Alright, we should be able to finish him off right here. There we go. Alrighty, let's go into Sunna. Let's go into Aria. And let's crowd control everyone. Let's do as much Abloom damage as we can. That was 300k Abloom. That was pretty good. And that was a... Was that a 740k disorder? I think that was. And we finally got an anomaly Resonia. Thankfully we got one at least. It's really hard to get 6 anomaly Resonias in just periodic, well, specific periodic just Hollow Zeros in general. So yeah. Alright. Let's go into Sunna. Alright, we go into Aria and just do massive damage. And we should be able to be good. There we go. Nice. Alright, that was pretty quick. Alright, another anomaly one. We have 2! So far, so good. Alrighty. We have 1 more to go. So let's go for the other combat Resonium. Hopefully we get 3 at least. Or at least 4. A level 4 would be nice, but a level 6 Burnice would be cool too. Alright. Again, we're going for crowd control. And we go into Aria. And just do big massive charge attacks again. And just have Nangong do her chains. Alright, there we go. Easy peasy. Yeah, most of these, oh, we do have 3. Okay, luckily, we're getting lucky on these, combat Resoniums. But, as I was saying before, luckily for, Nangong, it's, pretty easy just to get your, charge attacks in general. So, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be going into, Sunna. Alright, so now this is where things, we have to try hard a bit. So let's go into, Aria. Oh! There we go. Let's go into charges and just do as much disorder damage as we can and Abloom damage. Alright, now we go into Nangong and do the 2 charges. And then we go into ult. And this should do massive daze. Yep, there we go. 100k on disorder. That's pretty good damage. Alright, let's go into EX. Let's go into charges. There we go. Do big massive damage. 600k Ablooms. Really good damage for Aria. Alright, let's go into Nangong. Where we should be... Yeah, we should be able to just do her down beats. Go into Sunna. And then we should go to Hypercarry Aria for this one. Alright, 600k Abloom, 600k, 600k. Yeah, these are just typical numbers. Alright, there we go. We got Nangong there. Nice. Let's go into the 3 chains for all of the angels. Alright, we're going to be going into full EX mode and go into ult with Aria and just finish this off. We should be able to defeat Razor. 900k Abloom, 600k Abloom. Yeah, this is just really good damage in general. Alrighty, that was pretty good. That was a good first plane. Alrighty, alright, so we have crit damage. We also have 80% more damage on Ether Veil. I guess we could take this. 80% more damage on basic attacks. That's really broken. I guess we could just choose that. Rupture defense. Let's do another refresh. Okay, we're just able to just do defense assist, I guess. That was pretty bad Resonia selection. Okay, I guess the game doesn't really want to give me just a bunch of good Resonias. They don't want me to max out Burnice, I guess. Speaking of Burnice, I haven't used the Burnice effect yet, but the Burnice effect is really good if we are in a pitch or if we are fighting a boss. I didn't really need to use it on first plane because I don't really need to. I mean, it's just It's just the first plane. It's not really that bad. But on second and third, I might have to use Burnice. And besides, it goes on a periodic cooldown, so there's no reason why not to just spam the Burnice one. It's really, really broken. Alright, so we're going to be going into this. Because we also have just 2 types of Ether Veil active, we get a 30% defense ignore. Since all of these agents are able to just get a Ether Veil as long as we do ults and stuff, it should be pretty easy to get. Alright, let's go with the... Should we go with the... I guess we can go left? Let's go left. Alright, let's see what we have. Okay, avoid being knocked back. That's pretty easy. Alright, another EX. Let's go into Aria. But yeah, as you see there, the rotation is pretty easy. You just do Sunna buff so that you're able to just support the team. And then every time Nangong has enough downbeats, you're able to just swap into Nangong. So yeah, it's pretty easy to run this team. And then Aria, of course, is your main damage dealer, so you just run Aria most of the time on the field to just do her damage. Alrighty, more Abloom damage, 1 million! 1 million Abloom damage! You see how broken Angels of Delusion is? Angels of Delusion, best team in the game. Alright, let's go into 20% defense ignore, as well as inflict more days. That's the only good ones that we have so far. Let's go with the left path. So far, we only have 3 Anomaly Resonias. That's pretty bad. Hopefully, we're able to max out Burnice, because Burnice is pretty good at level 4. But as long as we get level 3, I think we should be fine. Level 3 Burnice is pretty good too. Alright, speaking of Burnice, we're going to be swapping into her right now to get the res reduction. Alright, and we should be able to just do big charges. Alright, nice. Let's go into EX with Nangong. I think that was a 2 million disorder. That was a literal 2 million disorder. Casual 2 million. Alright, another 1 million disorder. Yeah. I mean, you seeing numbers like this, 1 million Ablooms and just a bunch of disorder damage. It's just really, really busted. Angels of Delusion on just Hollow Zero in general is just really, really busted. Alright, we're going to be choosing the 30% damage increase because more damage the better. Alright, let's go with the attack one. Might as well. Even though we can't just crit, it is fine that we are able to just get those. It's not really a big deal. Alrighty, let's see what the next one is. It is just a roulette. Okay. I think we have 1 spin. Oh, we have 3 spins. Okay. So let's see what we get. 20% health increase. That's useless. Right here, that's a support Resonia. Okay, nice. And let's see what the last one is. This is a general energy via chain attack. Those are not that bad. The support ones are pretty good. I would say that the support Resonias are probably one of the best Resonias in the game because they just get just big massive increases like agent damage increase, energy increase, decibel increase. It's just really, really good increases in general for just most teams. Alright. Let's inflict our attribute Anomaly and let's do the big charges. And do another ult with Nangong. You're gonna be seeing that a lot. You're gonna be seeing a lot of Nangong ults because Nangong ult is just it's really, really fast. You're able to get this really, really fast. Alright, another 1 million Abloom. Casual 1 million Ablooms, by the way. Really, really busted for this team. So yeah. But the Angels of Delusion numbers are really, really good. I mean, you saw it right there. It's just 1 million Ablooms, 2 million disorder damage. As long as you're able to just rotate all these skills, you should be good to go. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's go into EX. Alright, let's go into another EX and just do the charges. Alright, let's go into Sunna ult. We're gonna be spending all of our ults here because this is a boss. Alright, I'm just wondering if Wandering Hunter is gonna go into his hide and seek mode. If he does, then it is pretty bad for us if he does. Alright. Let's go into charges. Get a big Abloom damage. Nice! Alright, we are able to stun him, which is pretty good. We're able to just get rid of his meter. Alright, okay, now he's going into hide and seek. It's this one. Right there. This parry. Nice. And he's back into Miasma's shield. That sucks. Alright, let's do another set of charges. I think that's was that a 3 million Abloom? Yeah, it's just really, really big damage numbers. I mean, I'm just shocked. That's why I'm not talking that much. It's just able to see just big, massive disorder damage numbers and massive Abloom numbers. They're just really busted. Alright, let's go into Burnice. And let's go into ult with Aria and cancel out of the chain attack. Alright. Let's see how much that was. Just 2 million. Is that an 8? Wait, is that 800k? 800k Ablooms. Yeah. Alright. Let's go into another set of charges. There we go. Let's go into Sunna. 800k of disorder again. Yeah. This is just really, really busted numbers right here. 1 million disorder again! With 800k Ablooms. This is a really busted team, as you see here. Alright, there we go. We're able to swap into Nangong and just do another set of charges. Go into Sunna. I should be able to stun him. There we go. Alright, we go into Aria. Go into Nangong. And go back into Sunna. Alright, we're gonna be going into EX right here and then just do an EX right here for Aria. That was 800. I think that was 100k on Abloom, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Alright, let's use ult. Let's try to finish this off because we are kind of running low on time for this. There we go. Okay. That was pretty good, I guess. We were able to beat them, right? In like 3 minutes. Let's go with I guess we could just go with Do we just go with the main DPS Aria? I guess we go with the main DPS Aria. Okay, Rupture. Let's go with the stun, I guess. It's useful for Nangong. Okay, so far we're not getting a lot of Anomaly Rezonia. We only got 3 so far, and they're just giving us a bunch of other things. The only sad part is that you only get 3 refreshes on just Rezonia in general, so it's really, really hard to get a full set on just periodic in general. But so far, the Angels of Delusion team is just performing really, really well. Let's go with this one. Let's go with the enhanced version. Every time we do a charge attack, we get a 50% chance to do the enhanced version of that attack, which is really, really busted. Let's go with the encounter nodes this time, because I already know we're probably not even going to be getting a bunch of Rezonia anyway, so might as well just go for the encounter nodes. Alright, this is the double boo, or the scavenger boo. We are able to get more generals, so let's go with this one. Anomaly build up, pretty good for us. And let's just keep going to the encounter nodes. Alrighty, another scavenger boo. Okay, we're just gonna get another general. Let's go with this one. That one's pretty good. And we go into the coin one, and then there's another encounter node, and that's basically it. This periodic Hollow Zero doesn't have stores, and that's because I'm pretty sure the buff you get is every time you get a bunch of gear coins, you're able to increase the damage you deal. I'm pretty sure it's like one of those ones. I'll probably have to check after this battle, because we do have a special Rezonia that we just have that allows us to just get a bunch of gear coins. So alright, let's just consume all of our stuff. Nice. Go into Aria and then just attack them here. Nice. Let's go into another EX. And then just go into another one right here. Alright. Nice. Okay. Alright, let's check the yeah, let's check our Rezonias real quick. I'm pretty sure it's under the artifacts right here. Yeah. So for every 100 gear coins owned, you get a increase of damage as well as crit damage and AP. So yeah, the more gear coins we have, the more this is able to be fueled up, which is pretty good. Also, we have great monopoly, so we're able to just lose gear coins. We have a chance to lose gear coins, or we have a chance to gain gear coins, which is pretty memey. But we have 16,000 gear coins right now, which is pretty nice, I would say. So we basically just get a big massive damage boost, because as long as we have, for every 100 we just get free massive boosts. All right, let's see. Let's go with the 1,000, because we have 16,000. We just need to keep those. We have 2 defense ones. That is pretty bad. We have 15,000 going in. So yeah, we just get a massive we're just getting a massive boost from that Rizonia. But that Rizonia is pretty good. But there's a reason why there is no stores, and that's because, well, there's no stores because we need a bunch of gear coins in order to get the massive buff. So yeah, but 3 anomaly Rizonias. I think we should be fine here against Vesper. Vesper shouldn't be that bad. Alright, we're able to stun lock Vesper. Nice. Let's go into Aria and just do massive charges. Alright, go into Nangong. Swap in every now and then. Go into Sunna again. Alright, let's do the parries. Alright, that's the first one. That's the second one. That's the third. And go into the fourth. There we go. Nice. That is was that a 40 million shutdown? Yeah, 40 million shutdown. Okay. I see. Alright, we're gonna be going to EX again. We're just gonna be catching him with Nangong. Alright, now we go into Burnice. We do not want to get hit here, so might as well just use Burnice. Alright. Let's go into EX and just do big massive damage. 4 million and 2 million Ablooms, 4 million disorder damage. Yep, this team is pretty busted. As long as all your buffs are up, that is. And as long as you have a bunch of Rizonia. Alright, another 4 million disorder I saw. That is pretty nice damage. Let's go into EX. Let's go into EX again. We don't want to get hit here. Alright, 2 million Ablooms. Yep. This is just the damage we're able to do. Alright, let's go into Sunna. Again. Let's go into Aria. And let's see how much damage we're able to do here. Again, another 2 million Ablooms. So you can go into Burnice. And we're able to just get more of our attacks in. We're still in enhanced state, so we're able to do 2 million Ablooms. Alright. I guess we're going to be playing Vesper's random minigame, so might as well just do it. I did miss the first attack, which does suck. But we should be able to still do our massive damage right here. Alright, let's go into the charges. Go into Sunna. Let's go into ult this time. This should stun him. Or this should stun Vesper. If not, then we go into EX with Aria. There we go. Alright. Let's go into Nangong. We go into Aria. Then we go into Sunna. And do EX with Sunna. Okay, now we go into charges. There we go. And that is it for Vesper. So yeah, as you see there, Angels of Delusion is pretty good on as you see there. Hollow Zero. 14 minutes. 14 minute Hollow Zero. That is pretty quick. So yeah, Nangong, as you see there in Hollow Zero, as long as you just equip her with the right teammates and just give her just her gear, she pretty much just sweeps the floor with basically everything in this Hollow Zero. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the Hollow Zero segment of the Nangong Showcase. So now it's time to move on to the VR segment. Just showcase some tidbits and tricks with Nangong. Alrighty, so here we are in the VR segment of the video. So I'm just going to be showcasing some Nangong, just gameplay stuff in general, and as well as, of course, showcasing the max damage possible with Nangong. And well, Well, there we go. We're just doing the idle animation, which is pretty cool. You can't just do the idle animation if you have all 3 of the Angels of Delusion members. But enough about that. Well, the reason why we're in the VR mode is to just showcase some Nangong tidbits and tricks that I just have, as well as just showcase the damage that she's able to do with her polarity disorders. So yeah, well, without any further ado, well, sorry that I do have to cut out this idle animation, but we have to showcase Nangong in just VR gameplay. So anyways, let's just showcase it. Alright, so in order for Nangong to get down beats, she has to gain it passively. But there are other ways to get your down beats, that is, if you trigger attribute anomalies, which right here, if you look at the meter right there, you get a bunch of meter, which is pretty good. As you see there, her downbeat meter is building up slowly. Once you reach max downbeats, you're able to do one of 2 things. 1, do the full 3 charge attacks, or 2, do an EX and then just automatically do your 2 charge attacks. So here is the first method, which is the charge. You have to time these correctly. If you time them correctly, then you are able to launch them faster. So right here, this is the way to do it. So you release it right here, and you release it right here. That is how you trigger all of your downbeats, which is pretty good. You just get just big massive days, which is pretty nice. And also, yeah, it's basically how you do all of her stuff right there. Let's just get her downbeats again. The second method right here is to do EX and then charges. So let's do this. Right here, you're able to do charges. And then, of course, once you stun the enemy, you could go here. And then once you stun the enemy, you just go into Nangong and then just do heavy charges. And there we go. You just do a dance prowess stack right there. So basically, it's either you do EX or you do charges. If you want to do for her full charges, you have to time them correctly. In order to time them correctly, when you do a charge, when her morning stars glow, that's when you release right there. When her morning stars glow, you get it, and it plays a sound effect when you do it. So let's do it again. Right there. Let's do it the second time, and do it the third. And as you see there, it plays a sound effect every time you do it correctly. So you know when you do it correctly if you hear that sound effect. And well, that's basically it for most of the Nangong gameplay. If the enemy is stunned, so I guess we can just showcase it right here. Let's just do some EXs with Nangong. When the enemy is stunned, you have to consume your stacks. So if you are running non-Aria teams, that means you just do an EX and then you just do your charges. And you just do polarity disorders, which is pretty easy. You either do quick assist, you do your basic, which is this, or you do your EX. These are pretty easy to deal with, so as long as you're able to just consume those, you should be fine with your dance paralysis. But if you have Aria on the field, it's a different story. So let's try to stun. Let's try to stun the enemy again. All right, so we have Aria on the field. So now we go into Nangong. All right, so now we go into Aria, and as long as you do a basic attack, as you see there on the middle, we're able to consume the dance paralysis with Nangong. So you don't have to switch it to Nangong if you have Aria on the team. Aria just triggers it automatically as long as you do your charge basic. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase some Nangong max damage. So without any further ado, let's just showcase some damage. So firstly, we're going to be stunning, of course. We're going to be stunning the enemy. So we're going to be doing a bunch of charge attacks. Just activating her full passive right there. Let's do another EX, and then let's do another Sunna. There we go. We go into Nangong. And go into Aria. And let's see how much damage this does on EX. So 700k disorder, 600k disorder. Yeah, as you see there, Nangong's polarity disorder damage is just really crazy in general. So yeah, as long as you're able to just land your polarities, you just do massive damage. So again, let's do it one more time, just to showcase it. Let's do one more damage showcase with Nangong. Let's do another set of EXs. Let's do another EX with Sunna. There we go. Alright, we go into Aria. We go into Nangong. Let's see how much damage this does. So we do EX. Right there, 700k. Right there, 600k. Yeah, she does around 600 to 700k disorder damage if you just have a properly built Nangong. As you see there, Nangong is a really busted agent, as you see there. As long as you're able to just pair it up with anomaly agents in general, you're able to just do damage numbers like that. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the VR segment of Nangong. She's pretty easy to play, as you see there, and the damage she's able to output if you just put her on the right teams is really, really busted. So yeah. Well, anyways, well, now it's time to close out the video with the overview and final thoughts of Nangong. So let's move on to the final segment of the showcase. Here is Nangong, the leader of the Angels of Delusion and also the choreographer and the dancer of the Angels of Delusion. She is a ether attribute and her agent type is stun. So just like every single other overview and final thoughts video, I'm just going to be talking about Nangong, her skills, and as well as her Mindscape cinemas, and then giving you my final thoughts on the character. So without any further ado, let's just go and let's talk about Nangong, well, in general. So let's talk about her core passive first, her core skill. Core passive, Progenitus Idol. Nangong's anomaly proficiency increases by 120. This is just unconditional. You just get a free 120 AP. When Nangong's initial anomaly mastery exceeds 110, each point of initial anomaly mastery above that increases her impact by 1. So this is very, very important. The more anomaly mastery you give Nangong, the more impact she's able to get. So more impact means she's able to stun the enemy faster. So it's very, very important that you have to just get as much anomaly mastery as you can. That way she can get as much impact as she can. And in turn, she's able to stun the enemy faster, which triggers all of her core passive. It's very, very important. When an enemy is stunned, each time any character triggers Abloom damage, disorder damage, or inflicts attribute anomaly on the enemy gains 1 stack of vibrato. A single enemy can have up to 4 stacks of vibrato. If vibrato reaches the maximum stacks and the enemy is afflicted with an ether, electric, fire, physical, or ice anomaly, or if the enemy has vibrato and recovers from being stunned, all vibrato stacks will be cleared. So as long as you're able to just trigger a Abloom disorder damage, you're able to just get the vibrato stacks on a stunned enemy. So as long as you're able to just trigger those, you just get vibrato stacks, which is pretty nice. When vibrato is cleared, if the enemy is suffering an aforementioned attribute anomaly, Nangong triggers an instance of Abloom damage on the target, dealing an additional instance of attribute anomaly damage equal to 720% for ether, 360% for electric, 900% for fire, 63% for physical, and 90% for ice of the original attribute anomaly damage. So basically, the more vibrato stacks that you have, the more damage you're able to do with Abloom. So this is the reason why Nangong just does so much damage. The more vibrato stacks you're able to stack up, the bigger the damage you're able to do. And that is the reason why you want to just switch into your main DPS and just do a massive damage, because the more vibrato stacks that you have, Nangong just does big Abloom damage. It is really, really busted. Each stack of vibrato on the enemy increases this Abloom damage ratio by an additional 25%, up to a max of 4, of course, because you have 4 vibrato stacks. So basically you get a 25% times 4. So you basically get a 100% ratio increase. So it's pretty busted. This means that Nangong's Abloom damage is crazy. It's absolutely busted. It's so busted. So yeah, as long as you just get a lot of vibrato stacks on the enemy, it's really, really broken. So yeah. When Nangong's basic attack, Adorable Explosive Impact, or EX Special Attack, the Unbearable Weight of Love, hits an enemy, her anomaly buildup rate increases by 35%, and her days dealt increases by 20%, and all squad members' damage dealt increases by 25% for 30 seconds. Repeated triggers reset the duration. So as long as you land a basic attack, basically her charge attacks, her EX special, or just both of them in unison, anyways, you could just land an EX into basic attack, or you can just do a basic attack in general. As long as you land those, you get a anomaly buildup increase of 35%, a 20% increased days, and 25% damage dealt increase. This is really, really broken. So this means that your anomaly buildup rate is broken. This means that you're able to just get a bunch of attribute anomalies up on the field very, very fast. Your days dealt increases by 20%. This means that Nangong is able to stun the enemy faster, which is pretty good. And also, you get a 20% increased damage in general. So this means that Nangong Yu and her teammates do more damage. It is a really, really good core skill. And all you need to do is literally just land a basic attack or an EX, and that's it. It's literally one of the most freest buffs in the game. While in combat, Nangong Yu restores 3.8 down beats per second. When any squad member inflicts an attribute anomaly on an enemy, Nangong Yu restores an additional 12 down beats. This effect can trigger once every 6 seconds. So, as I said before in the showcase, the reason why you want to just inflict attribute anomalies is to get down beats. The more down beats you have, the more you're able to just do charge attacks. So you can hold up to 100 down beats, and well, you get 30 at the start of the battle. So you can get at least to 50 down beats, but you want to get to 100 down beats, because once you reach 100 down beats, you're able to do the triple charge attack, which is her main bread and butter. You have to do this in order to trigger her passives. So yeah, just get a bunch of down beats and then just do a bunch of damage. It's literally what she does. And stun the enemy, of course, because all of her charge attacks do massive days, which is very, very important. So that's the reason why you need attribute anomalies. Nangong Yu can hold up to 100 downbeats and starts with 30 downbeats upon entering the battle. So you basically just have a max of 100 downbeats and you just get 30 at the start of the battle. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Additional ability, Angel Captain. When another character in your squad is an anomaly character or shares the same faction, any squad member's attack against a stunned enemy has 30% increase anomaly buildup. Chain attacks against a stunned enemy have an additional 30% increase anomaly buildup. So basically you just get an increased anomaly buildup, and if you do a chain you get another additional 30% with a net total of 60% anomaly buildup if you do a chain attack on a stunned enemy. So basically this makes you want to go for chains. It's really, really busted. When any squad member stuns an enemy, Nangong Yu gains 2 stacks of dance prowess, up to a maximum of 2 stacks, lasting 15 seconds. Repeated triggers reset the duration. With dance prowess, when a heavy attack from Nangong Yu's EX special attack, the unbearable weight of love, basic attack adorable explosive impact, or quick assist emergency save, hits an enemy that is both stunned and affected by an attribute anomaly, 1 stack of dance prowess is consumed to trigger the special disorder effect polarity disorder against all enemies who meet the conditions. This damage equal to 25% of the original disorder damage and triggers the previous squad member's quick assist. Polarity disorder does not clear the target's attribute anomaly. So basically, when you stun an enemy, you get 2 stacks of dance prowess. When an enemy is afflicted by an attribute anomaly, and as long as you land a charge attack, an EX, or a quick assist, you're able to consume 1 dance prowess to trigger a polarity disorder, and that polarity disorder deals massive damage. It equals 20% of the original disorder damage. It is really, really busted. So, for basically non-Aria teams, you just have to go for Nangong. You have to swap into Nangong and just land at least 1 EX or at least 2 EXs or 2 charge attacks or EX charge. Basically any combination of the moves that allow you to just trigger your polarities. So as long as you're able to do that, Nangong Yu is just able to do massive damage. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. If the skill fails to trigger polarity disorder, dance prowess will not be consumed. When Nangong Yu has dance prowess, the next time she switches onto the field, she will immediately perform the first charge hit of a basic attack, adorable explosive impact, which will always trigger precise charging. So basically, if you switch into Nangong, you're able to get precise charging, which means you're able to go into the 3rd hit of the charge attack if you do have enough down beats available. So it's pretty nice. It's just a quick way to just go into another 3rd hit of your charge basic, which is pretty good. When any squad member stuns an enemy, Nangong Yu's next EX special attack will not consume energy. This effect lasts for 15 seconds and can trigger once every 15 seconds. So basically, if you don't have energy when you stun an enemy, at least you can do 1 EX into a charge attack. So it's pretty easy, pretty free. You're able to just trigger your dance prowess and just trigger some polarity disorders. It's pretty good that she's able to get a free EX. But Nangong Yu and Aria are in the same squad. If Aria's basic attack, perfect pitch, heavy attack hits an enemy that is both stunned and affected by an attribute anomaly, and Nangong Yu fully participates in the attack, 1 stack of dance prowess will also be consumed to trigger polarity disorder on all enemies who beat the conditions. So basically, it's as long as Aria is able to do a plunge attack, you're able to just consume your dance prowess to do a polarity disorder. It's pretty free. For Aria, you don't really need to switch into Nangong because Aria does it automatically for you. So basically, if you play Aria, Nangong, you don't have to just switch into Nangong. You just have Nangong sit in the back while Aria just triggers your polarities for you. It's pretty easy. This means that if you are gonna be playing Nangong Yu, if you're playing on an Aria team, you don't really need to swap in. But if you are playing on a non-Aria team, you have to swap into Nangong in order to consume all your dance prowesses to do your polarity disorders. When the third hit of Nangong's basic attack, Adorable Explosive Impact or Ultimate Meteor Shower, hits an enemy, the enemy suffers a misstep. Under the effect, stun damage multiplier increases by 30%, and when an enemy becomes stunned, their stun duration increases by 3 seconds. Before recovering from stun, misstep can only trigger once on the same target. The increased stun duration cannot stack with similar effects. When the enemy with misstep recovers from stun, the misstep effect ends. So basically, you get a 30% increased stun damage multiplier if the enemy is stunned. It's pretty easy. And as long as you land a charge attack or an ultimate, you're able to just get it for free. It's really good. And you're able to increase the stun duration by 3 seconds. So this means that the enemy is stunned for longer, and you get a 30% stun damage multiplier. This means that you do more damage, and the enemy gets stunned for longer. This means that you do more damage. It's pretty good in general. So yeah, her core passive, Nangongyu's core passive, it's pretty long, but it's mainly just you just get buffs for just doing her main gameplay gimmick, which is just doing charge attacks or EXs, and also just triggering polarity disorders by just swapping in if the enemy is stunned and just doing those specific moves. It's pretty easy. Even though it's a long paragraph, it's a pretty easy passive to understand. So yeah. Anyways, let's talk about her other skills, shall we? Basic attack! Shooting star step. Press attack to activate. Perform up to 3 attacks forward, dealing ether damage. It's just your basic attack. Basic attack. Adorable explosive impact. Hold attack to launch a charged attack, dealing ether damage. Release the button at the right moment to trigger precise charging. Increase the damage dealt by this skill by 20%. So this skill is really easy to do. As I showed in the VR segment, as long as the Morning Star is basically just glowing, if the Morning Star glows, then you're able to just release it and you get just a sound notification that you got it right. So as long as it plays that sound, you already know you're doing it right. And also, you are forced to go for it because you get a 20% days increase if you do a precise charge. It's really easy to do. You should be able to do this. The second and third hit is also pretty easy to do too. It's just like the first hit where you just able to just, as long as the Morning Star glows, just release at the right time and you're just able to do 20% increased days. Nangong can perform up to 3 hits. The second and third hit each must consume 50 downbeats. So this is very important. The reason why you want 100 downbeats is to perform the second and third hits of her explosive impact charge. Because if you get all 3 hits, you get a 60% increase dealt on the skill, which is pretty nice. So this means that you get a 60% days increase, and the enemy gets stunned faster. It is really important that you just get 100 downbeats and just perform all 3 charge attacks. After using a chain attack, ultimate, or EX special, if enough downbeats are available, hold attack to skip the first hit and directly perform the second and third hits, which always trigger precise charging. So basically, if you're not skilled enough to do the precise charge, you can't just cheat your way by using chain, ultimate, or EX in order to just do the the second and third hit, which is what I did a lot. Since Nangong is able to get energy very fast anyway, you can't just use EX, hold attack, and you're just able to just trigger every single precise hit, which is really easy to do. So if you are struggling to just get the timing correctly for your charge hits, you can't just use EX and then skip that anyway. It's pretty easy. When Nangong is the active character, chain attacks, ultimates, and EX special attacks do not interrupt the combo count of basic attack, Adorable Explosive Impact. So you don't get interrupted with your combo, which is pretty good. It just means you're able to just perform it regardless. While charging the first hit, anti-interrupt level increases and damage taken decreases by 60%. It's pretty good, but sometimes you are left wide open, so EX special actually gives you invulnerability, so if you don't want to take damage while charging the first hit, you can just use EX and just skip to the third and the second and third hits. While charging the second and third hits, the character isn't vulnerable. It's just you get invincibility since she's in the air. As long as she's in the air, you get invincibility. During the dash phase of the first hit, Enemy attacks can be blocked. On a successful block, the attack is treated as a precise charge attack. Characters invulnerable using this skill. So basically, when you are using the charge, you can time it correctly and block a hit. This is pretty good. If you can't just time it correctly by blocking a hit, you can just immediately go into your precise charging, which is pretty nice. It means you get a defensive measure as long as you're able to just charge it correctly, which is pretty nice. So yeah, her basic attack is just pretty simple. You just do 3 charge attacks and that's basically it. Her dodges are pretty basic too. Dodge, natural dancer. Press dodge to activate a quick dash dodge. Characters vulnerable using this skill. This is just your dodge. Dash attack, spinning meteor. Press attack during a dodge to activate. Deliver a quick attack forward, dealing ether damage. This is just your dash attack. Dodge counter, asteroid waltz. Press attack during a perfect dodge to activate. Launches a series of attacks on the target, dealing ether damage. Characters invulnerable using this skill. This is just your dodge attack. Yep, our dodges are just simple. You don't really need to use them. Assist! Quick assist, emergency save. When the active characters launch, press assist to activate. Launch a series of attacks on the target, dealing ether damage. Characters invulnerable using the skill. This is just your quick assist, but again, when you do a quick assist, you're able to do a polarity disorder. It's pretty free. So as long as you have a supporter or just a agent that triggers quick assist, you can just go into emergency save and just consume a polarity disorder if the enemy is stunned. So quick assist is pretty good. Defensive assist. Perfected choreography. While on-field characters about to be attacked, press assist to activate. Parries the enemy's attack, dealing massive daze. The skill excels at parrying enemy attacks and reduces the consumption of assist points when the character is under intense attacks. Characters vulnerable using the skill. This is just your basic defensive assist. But since she is a stun agent, you're able to reduce the skill point consumption of the assist, which is pretty nice. So you have more assist points to work with. Assist follow-up. Improvised performance. Press attack after defensive assist to activate. Launches a series of attacks on the target, dealing massive ether damage. Characters vulnerable using skill. This is just your parry attack. Yep, all of these assist skills are just basic. Special attacks! Special attack, the weight of love. Press special to activate. Delivers a morning star attack, dealing ether damage. This is just your special attack. Nothing really special. EX special attack, the unbearable weight of love. With enough energy, press EX to activate. Delivers a morning star attack, dealing ether damage. Characters invulnerable using the skill. This is just your basic EX special, but as I said before, as long as you do EX, you're able to go into your second and third hit of your charged basics, so it's pretty good for the most part. EX is pretty nice. And now it's time to talk about chain attacks. Chain attack, comic gravity. When a chain attack is triggered, select the character to activate. Launch a series of attacks forward, dealing massive ether damage. Characters will be using this skill. This is just your basic chain attack. But again, when you do a chain, you're able to go into second and third hit of your charge attack, which is pretty good. Ultimate Meteor Shower. While Decibel rating is at maximum, press Ultimate to activate. Launch multiple attacks forward, dealing massive ether damage. Upon activating this skill, Nangong activates Ether Veil Delusion Reprise. While the Ether Veil Delusion Reprise is active, all squad members gain an additional 50 attack for 30 seconds. If Nangong activates Ether Veil Delusion Reprise again, the current Ether Veil Delusion Reprise will first deactivate. Characters will using the skill. So basically, her ultimate is just big, massive ultimate damage. This is her basic ultimate, but it has an Ether Veil mechanic attached to it. And of course, after you do your ult, you can just go into second and third hit of your basic attacks, which is pretty nice as well. Angels of Delusions all have the same Ether Veil Delusion Reprise. All of them have the same Ether Veil, so you can just reset each other's Ether Veils, which is pretty good. So yeah, Nangong just has an Ether Veil on her ult, which is pretty nice. So yeah. And that is it for all of the skills right there. Pretty nice, I would say, for Nangong. She's mainly a simple character that just uses basics and core. So, yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to talk about Mindscape Cinemas. So, for those who want to max out their Nangong Yus or who want to just get certain Mindscape Cinemas, well, let's talk about all of our Mindscape Cinemas and let's see how good they are. So, let's talk about some Mindscape Cinemas, shall we? M1, Lazy Spotlight. When EX special attack, the unbearable weight of love, or basic attack, adorable explosive impact, hits an enemy, the enemy's all attribute res decreases by 18% for 40 seconds. Repeated triggers reset the duration. You just get a free 18% all attribute res reduction as long as you land an EX or a basic. This is free. It's literally free, and it lasts for 40 seconds, which is pretty long. So 18% all attribute res decrease. That is broken. And all you need to do is land a charge attack or an EX special. Pretty easy. When entering the battlefield, Nangong Yu's downbeat is restored to the maximum. In Investigation Zone mode, this effect can trigger once every 180 seconds. So as long as you enter the battlefield, you just get 100 downbeats for free. So this means that you're able to just do the full passive. So you can't just do the 3 hits and that's basically it. You just get the full passive. It is busted. Super busted. M1 is really good. 18% res decrease and also a 100 downbeat start. It is busted. Absolutely busted. M2, Painless Tears. Each stack of vibratos additional Abloom damage ratio increases from core passive Prejudice Idle increases by an additional 10%. So basically your Abloom damage just does more damage as long as you gain up vibrato. So it's busted. You just get more damage on your Abloom damage. The stun damage multiplier provided by an additional ability, Angel's Captain, increases by an additional 30%. So you just get a 60% damage, stun damage multiplier. So on top of the Abloom damage you're able to get from vibrato, you also get a 60% stun damage multiplier. It is busted. When the active character's chain attack heavy attacks hits an enemy that is both stunned and affected by an attribute anomaly, it triggers Polarity Disorder, dealing 25% damage equal to the original disorder damage. Each enemy can only trigger this effect once during the same stun period. So it is a very big mouthful, but it is broken as crap. So you get a Abloom damage increase of 10% for each vibrato stack. So you basically get a 40% increase Abloom damage bonus. Your stun damage multiplier gets increased by an additional 30%, meaning that you get a 60% increased stun damage multiplier bonus. And when you do a chain attack on a character, as long as it's a heavy attack, chain attack, you get a 25% increased damage, and you just trigger Polarity Disorders. So yeah. So basically, Polarity Disorder plus 60% stun damage multiplier plus an additional 40% Abloom damage bonus. Yeah. I would say that the best stopping point for Nangong Yu is M2, because with M1 right here you get a 80% res reduction and 100 downbeats, which means that you're able to just get your full passive immediately. On your M2 you're able to get a increase of Abloom damage, increased stun damage multiplier, and an increased damage on your polarities, and you're just able to just automatically trigger polarities in general. So yeah, I would say that the best stopping point is M2. Any more than that is just whale territory at this point. But all of Nangong Yu's mindscapes are pretty good. So if you really do want to max her out, I would say you can go for it. But if you want a stopping point, I would say M2. M1 is also good as well, but M2 gives you just so much benefits, so you might as well just go for it. So yeah, Painless Tears is a pretty good mindscape. M3, Chips on the Scales. It just gives you +2 to all skills. It's really nothing special. M4, Accomplice's Dance Step. Anomaly proficiency increases by 40. This is just a free increase of 40 AP. Anomaly build up a basic attack, Adorable Explosive Impact while hitting an enemy, increases by 35%. So basically, you are able to just trigger corruptions every now and then with Nangong faster. So you just get a free 35% anomaly build up. It's pretty good. M5, Center Stage. It's just a +2 to all skills, but on that total a +4 thanks to, again, her M3, which also gives her +2. And as for M6, this is whale territory, everyone. An Angel's Delusion. Nangong Yu's attacks deal 50% more days. This means that you're able to just stun the enemy. I'm pretty sure just probably in like around like 5 seconds now. So yeah, Nangong is able to reliably stun the enemy now. When the enemy is not stunned, each time any character triggers Abloom damage, disorder damage, or inflicts an attribute anomaly on them, the enemy gains 1 stack of vibrato modified. This is a unique ability. When hit by the heavy attack EX special attack, the Unbearable Weight of Love, or basic attack, Adorable Explosive Impact, they gain 1 stack of vibrato modified. When hit by the heavy attack of Ultimate Meteor Shower, they gain 2 stacks of vibrato modified. So you basically are just able to just stack a bunch of vibrato modified, and you also get a 50% increased days, which is pretty good. So let's see what vibrato modified does. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be really broken because this is an M6 ability. Vibrato modified can stack up to 4 times. When the enemy becomes stunned, all vibrato modified stacks are cleared. When vibrato modified is cleared, if the enemy is under ether, electric, fire, or physical, or anomaly, ice anomaly, Nangong Yu triggers an instance of Abloom damage on the target, dealing an additional instance of attribute anomaly damage equal to 800% ether, 400% electric, 1000% fire, 70% physical, 100% ice of the original attribute anomaly damage. Each stack of vibrato modified on the enemy increases the Abloom damage ratio of the additional 25% of vibrato modified. Cannot stack with vibrato. So basically, this is just a separate vibrato thing. So not only you get the vibrato buff where you're just able to do a big Abloom damage on vibrato, but you get a secondary Abloom damage modifier with vibrato modified, which gives you, yeah, it gives you that, which is pretty busted. So for M6, well, I might as well just condense it down. You get a 50% more increased days, which is pretty good. When you trigger a bloom disorder or an attribute anomaly, you're able to get a vibrato stack or vibrato modified stack, which stacks up to 4 times. Her ult also gives you 2 vibrato stacks, which is nice. EX and basic attacks give you 1 stack of vibrato modified. And vibrato modified, when the enemy is not stunned, you're able to do additional damage, and it's pretty busted. You just get Abloom damage, and it's crazy. You also get a additional 25% increase Abloom damage. It is busted, super busted. This means that, yeah, Nangong just becomes the best sub DPS in the game. It's really busted. For the just anomaly teams in general, Nangong, if you have her M6, she just becomes the best sub DPS in the game. No questions asked. It's super busted. Not only you get the vibrato Abloom, but you also get the vibrato modified Abloom. It is super busted. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for Nangong. So now it's time to talk about my, well, overview and final thoughts. So what do I think about Nangong? I think that she's probably the best anomaly support in the game. I would say that both Nangong and Yuzuha are just equal in being the best supports in the game. For Nangong, she is the best sub DPS in the game. You literally just do big Abloom damage and big polarity disorders, and the enemy just dies. It's really easy to do. She also stuns the enemy pretty fast as well, so she's also a great stunner. She does basically everything that you ever want a anomaly support who's also a stun agent to do. It's pretty good. But at the same time, Yuzuha is what every anomaly agent wants as well. High attack boosts. You also get a 20% increase on attribute anomaly damage and 20% disorder damage, which is what every single anomaly team runs anyway. So yeah, Yuzuha also has some stuff too, and she also deals her own damage as well. She's now no slouch in damage. She is also a sub DPS as well if you build her correctly. So yeah, I would say that both Yuzuha and Nangong are in the same power level. I would say that both of them are literally the best anomaly supports in the game. So the title is not a lie. Yes, Nangong is one of the best anomaly supports in the game, if not the best anomaly support in the game. But you can even go flip-flop, or you can say Nangong is the best support in the game for anomaly agents, or you could say Yuzuha is the best anomaly support in the game. Whichever one works for you. I would say that both of them are basically equal, and well, the title is not a lie. I would say both of them are literally the best anomaly support in the game. But Nangong, I would say it does more damage, while Yuzuha supports more. So yeah, that's my main argument. And that is basically it for the Nangong Showcase. Well, that was a pretty long showcase, but I really had to showcase just how good Nangong is. Nangong is just really broken. So yeah. Well, anyway, so that is it for the Nangong Showcase. So if you guys enjoyed the showcase video and want to see more Zenless Zone Zero videos like this in the future, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot if you do support the channel by doing those things. Helps to keep me motivated and making more videos for you guys. So again, if you want to support the channel by liking and subscribing, it really does mean a lot to me. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. Thank you guys so much for doing so. And as for the comments down below, what do you think of Nangong? You think she's pretty good? You think she's bad? What do you think about her playstyle? You think it's easy? You think it's not? Are you still getting used to her playstyle, or do you think that she is just right? Let me know in the comment section down below. I want to see what you guys think about Nangong. And as always, thank you guys for watching this Nangong Showcase video, and I'll see you guys in the next Zenless Zone Zero video.